And welcome back, race fans, to Right Rear Racing. As tonight we bring you the Regal Promotions Esports Corn Belt Clash at Knoxville with the 360s. They're out there now for their qualifying, and we're going to go ahead and join in on a few drivers here, as I believe we're going to go and watch Jason Haynes. He's currently sitting second with a 1565. As he's going to get that high side going here. We're going to have 31 entries tonight, it looks like, with the top 4 being inverted for all your heat races. There's going to be 4 heat races. Jason Haynes is going to set your 5th quickest with a 1565. And we have Derek out there now in that 41 machine. He hit a 1561 on his first lap. His second lap is going to be a 1574. We're going to get here with Dustin Big Money Sarge as he's come around the 3 and 4 here. He's come down the front straightaway. His first lap, I believe it is. And his first lap, he's going to jump up to 4th. He's going to sit a 1564 as he goes in turn number 3 for his second and final qualifying lap. And he's going to get a 1572 on that lap. Trevor Warrior in that 90 machine, he's going to set your quickest lap so far. And as soon as I said that, Caden Berry hit the quick time of a 1556 on his first lap. And I'm guessing that was his second lap, and I'm sorry about that one. And Trevor hit it on his second lap. We're going to follow through. Looks like we have Dylan McKee in the 12 as he comes out 2 down the back straightaway. Entering 3, and as he comes out of turn 4, he's going to sit in the 22nd with a 1573. We still have Bowen Smith, Ty Williams, and I don't think Benjamin Wirt is actually going to qualify. And Dylan McKee on his second lap as he comes out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. His second lap time is going to be a 1569. That's going to jump him up to the 18th position. We have Ty Williams on his first lap. He got a 1575 as he comes out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3. And it looks like he did not make the time limit there for his second lap, and he's going to set in the 26th position. It's a top 4 invert for your heat races. And heat race number 1 is gridding up now. And on your pole is going to be the number 27 of Jimbo Rooney. On his outside is going to be Matt Hinkle in the 47. Inside row number 2, we have this Alec, and I'm not going to butcher his last name. And on his outside is going to be your quick time qualifier of Caden Berry in that 112. Inside row number 3, we have Greg Robinson in the 83. On his outside is going to be Jeremy Christensen. Inside row number 4 is John Jr. in the 34, and on his outside is going to be William Clapp in the 8. As you see them going out there now, and I'm going to apologize with some of these names. Some of these names I don't want to butcher them, so I'm just going to call them by their first name. As they're waiting for, I think everyone is gridded up here. The pace truck's going to take off. We're going to go green flag racing here soon. And thank you for liking the stream. Faith-based motorsports. On Facebook and YouTube, get in the chat and let me know who you're cheering on tonight, who your favorite driver is, and who you think you might win. And Ty, thank you for that. Hey, I agree with that one too, Ty. And we're getting the rolled up green flag. It's going to be 8 laps, and the top 4 are going to transfer to your main event. So that means that we have 4 that are going to make it to your Bs. As Jimbo Rooney leads us out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, he's waiting for that start zone. pace truck pulls off. Jimbo Rooney is right there, ready to hit that loud pedal, and he's going to lead us to the green flag. Coming out turn number 4, he's going to get a good jump here and go in turn number 1. Here comes the 23 down low of Alec. He's going to be in your 4th and final transfer spot. And Caden Berry's getting that low side going there. And turns 3 and 4, and lap number 1 is complete. And Jimbo Rooney is going to lead lap number 1, followed by Matt Hinkle and Caden Berry. Caden Berry's going to look down low in turn 3. Is he going to get that bottom side going here? Coming out turn number 4. They're going to be side by side. That's going to be your battle for second between the 12 and the 47. Here comes the 12 looking to do a slide job in turn 1 and 2. And 47 and Matt Hinkle bobbled just a little bit. And Caden Berry took over your second position. And he's trying to reel in the 27 of Jimbo Rooney. As we are, I don't think that lap counter is correct up there, as we are 3 laps down and starting lap number 4. And now Caden Berry's getting that high side going. He's going to be side by side coming out turn number 4 with Jimbo Rooney. And at the line, it's going to be Jimbo Rooney. And here comes Jimbo trying to pinch him off up there as we're halfway through with heat race number 1. And here comes Caden Berry looking down low. And the 47, Matt Hinkle, has not left yet. And Caden's looking down low in turns 3 and 4. They're still going to be side by side. This is your battle for the lead between the 12 and the 27 as we have 2 laps remaining in this. And Caden's tried to throw a slide job there, and Jimbo Rooney hit his tail tank there out of turn 2. And it's going to be Caden Berry, your new leader, as they're taking the white flag with Alec in 2nd, Matt Hinkle in 3rd, and Jimbo Rooney in 4th in your final transfer spot. Greg Robinson's going to be in your 5th position. As Caden Berry rolls out of turn 4, he's checking checker flags, and he's going to take heat race number 1, followed by Alec, Matt Hinkle, and Jimbo Rooney for your top 4. And for your rest of your results, Greg Robinson, he's going to go to the B. Jeremy Christensen is in a B, and John Jr. in the 34 finishes 7th, and William Clapp in the 8 car finishes 8th. Those last 4 drivers are going to go to your B main. And heat race number 2 is taking the field now, and that's going to be Spencer Putney in that 17 machine. He's going to be starting on the pole, and on his outside is going to be Michael in the 07. Inside row number 2, we have the 22 of Mason Hannigan, and on his outside is going to be Nick Larry in the 43. It doesn't look like Nick Larry might be making the call. Inside row number 3, I'm sorry, that's Trevor Warrior in the 90 is going to be starting on the outside. And inside row number 3 is going to be Nick Larry. On his outside is going to be Dylan Brandon in the 4. Inside row number 4 is going to be Ty Williams in the 116. And we have Joseph finishing out your field. And Joseph's going to be in the car number 412. And for the Berry family on YouTube, that's how he ended up typing it on one of the things. I will go in there and edit it during the warm-up session so it is correct for the main event. And we had the rolled up green flag. The field is going to be led by Spencer Putney coming out turn number 2. We're going to go green flag racing next time around as they're going down the back straightaway. And it looks like the number 90 of Trevor Warrior will not be making the call for heat race number 2 tonight. As 17 leads us to the field, the pace truck pulls off. He's hitting that loud pedal and getting the green flag. He's going to get a good jump here, and Michael and the 22 are going to be running side by side. That's Mason Hannigan. He's trying to get a good jump on the inside. As we go and follow Michael in that 07. He's going to try to get that high side going. Here comes the 22 down low. This is your battle for second between the 22 and the 07 as the 22 does a slide job in 1 and 2. Here comes a crossover move by the 07 of Michael as Michael looks down low and entering turn 3. He's going to throw a slider. Here comes another crossover from Michael or Mason. Sorry about that. As they're side by side at the line. As we're 2 laps in, starting lap number 3. They're going to be side by side for your battle for second, as it's the 07 and the 22 battling it out here. Ty Williams in that 116. He's trying to hold off your 4th and final transfer spot, as Nick Larry just took it over. There's a battle there between the 3 drivers here for your 4th and final transfer spot. And the 22 and the 07 are throwing slide jobs. We're halfway through with heat race number 2. As Mason is pulling away just a little bit, trying to reel in Spencer Putney there, your leader. We're going to go back to Nick Larry as he's trying to hold off the number 16 of Ty Williams as he's looking for that 4th and final transfer spot. Ty Williams throws a slide job there in turns 3 and 4. We're coming out turn number 4. And it's going to be the 43 of Nick Larry. We have 2 more laps left in this heat race number 2. We got some good side-by-side action, some slide jobs. Here comes the 16 looking down low. He's trying to get a 2-for-1 special in turn 3 and 4. He's going to just do a slide job on the 43. The 43 does a crossover move. We have 1 lap remaining in your heat race number 2 here. Here comes the 16 looking down low. The battle's on the screen for the 4th and final transfer spot. As the 16 looks down low in turns 3 and 4, here comes the 43 looking down low and crossing them over. It's going to be a race to the line as the 43 is going to take your 4th and final transfer spot for heat race number 2. Spencer Putney took the win, followed by Mason Hannigan. Michael in the 07 finished 3rd, and Nick Larry in 4th. And Ty Williams finishes 5th. Dylan Brandon in 6th. Joe in that 412 finishes 7th. And Trevor Warrior rounds out the field. And heat race number 3 is lining up now. And Scott Thomason in that 6th machine, he's going to start on the pole. And on his outside is going to be Jason Haynes in that 66 machine. Inside row number 2, we have Logan Trimmer, and on his outside is going to be the 012 of Bowen Smith. Inside row number 3, we have Dylan McKee in that 12 machine, and on his outside is going to be the 71 of Miles Jensen Jr. Inside row number 4, we have Ty Dixon in the 67, and on his outside is going to be the number 30 of Kevin Goodall. And I'm sorry about that, Bear family. I thought y'all were talking about me with my broadcast here, and I don't know how to ban anyone on there. As we're getting the rolled up green flag, heat race number 3, we'll be getting the green flag next time around. As the 6th of Scott Thomason, he's going to be leading the field into turn number 4. He's going to hit that loud pedal. I'm sorry, they're in turn number 3. He's going to hit that loud pedal coming out turn number 4. And we're green flag racing for heat race number 3 as Scott Thomason leads us into turn number 1. Logan Trimmer is in 2nd. The 66 of Bowen Smith is going to be on the outside. I'm sorry, that's the 012. He's looking down low. That's Bowen Smith. On his outside is going to be the 71. We got some contact here, and it looks like maybe the 012 might have broke a little bit. We're going to go back up here to the 170 or 148 of Logan Trimmer as he's sitting in 3rd. Dylan McKee and Jason Haynes, they're getting a race here as Jason Haynes is going to get the 4th and final transfer spot coming out of turn number 2 as There's still Jason Haynes is securing into your 4th position. Dylan McKee in 5th. Kevin Goodall in 6th. And Ty Dixon rounds out the field as Bowen Smith is no longer on the track. And they're kind of spaced out here as we're halfway through with heat race number 3. And the 71 of Miles Jensen Jr. He's reeled in the 6th machine. He's going to look down low, coming out turn number 4. We have a new leader coming out turn number 4. That's going to be the 71 of Miles Jensen Jr. And he's going to get that high side going and trying to pull away here as he's getting a white flag. We have one more lap around. And I guess I'm just a lap ahead as there's 2 laps remaining. And here comes the 66 of Jason Haynes. He's trying to move up one more spot. And the 148 of Logan Trimmer. He's going to get that outside going as we are now on the last lap. And your battle on the screen is going to be between the 66 and the 148. As the 66 is going to do a crossover move coming out turn number 4. It's going to be Miles Jensen Jr. taking the heat race number 3, followed by Scott Thomason, Jason Haynes, and Logan Trimmer, rounding out your top 4 and moving on to your main event. The rest of your results for heat race number 3 is Dylan McKee in that 12 machine finishes 5th, Kevin Goodall 6th, Ty Dixon 7th, and Bowen Smith rounds out the field. And your 4th and final heat race is gridding up now. We're going to have Fred Hoffman in the 13 starting on the pole. On his outside is going to be Steven Stewart in the number 29. Inside row number 3, we have Dustin Sargent. Row number 2 is Dustin Sargent in the 77 machine. On his outside is going to be Derek Patetti in the 41. Inside row number 3, we have Corey Denson in the 26. And outside of him is going to be John in the 69. And rounding out the field is going to be Brian Kling in the 2 machine. As always, for Regal Promotions esports events, would like to thank all the sponsors for Regal Promotions. As always, you have the admin box drivers meeting, which happened right before we went live here. Thank you for admin box for the sponsorship, and for all your green flag racing. That's going to be third party gaming. And now we have a rolled up green flag. We're going to go green flag racing next time around as Fred Hoffman in that 13 machine is going to be leading the field. As Fred Hoffman leads us into turn number 3, the pace truck's going to dive off. And we're green flag racing as Fred Hoffman is going to hit that loud pedal, and Dustin Sargent is going to follow in suit there in the 77 machine. And in third is going to be Steven Stewart and 41 of Derek Patetti, as Derek's going to look down low in turns 3 and 4. We're coming out of turn number 4 for the first lap, and lap number 1 is going to be led by Fred Hoffman. And we also have that 77 of Dustin Sargent sitting in second, with the 29 of Steven Stewart in third still. As the night goes on, we should see more side-by-side racing as the track is starting to get worked in just a little bit more here. As the 69 of John is going to be on the outside bubble here for your transfer spot. And the 29 is going to bobble. Here comes the 41 of Derek. He's going to look down low as they come out of turn number 2. Enter turn 3. He's going to slide up and take over your third position. But here comes Steven Stewart trying to do a crossover move. We're going to have a drag race to the line. And at the line, it was going to be Steven Stewart as we're halfway through with heat race number 4. And we're still racing side by side for your third spot. We're going to have side by side racing for the lead with the 13 and the 77 as the 77 looks to do a crossover move. And we're going to be side by side in turn number 3. The 77's running in hard. He's going to do a slide job here. And they make contact as they come out turn number 4. Hopefully that doesn't mess up Dustin Sargent in that 77 machine. As we have 2 laps remaining in heat race number 4. It's still going to be Fred Hoffman in that 13 machine, followed by Dustin Sargent. And Derek in that 41 machine. He took over your third position. And Steven Stewart is in the 4th position as we're on our last lap for heat race number 4. As the 13 of Fred Hoffman comes in turn 3, he's coming out turn number 4. He's going to go down the front straightaway and take the checkered flags and win heat race number 4, followed by Dustin Sargent in the 77, the 41 of Derek Patetti, and Steven Stewart in the 29 rounds out your top 4. And we have Steven Stewart. Sorry, that Steven Stewart finishes 4th. John in the 69 finishes 5th. Corey Denson in 6th, and Brian Kling finishes 7th as we have your B main taking the field. Now it looks like we're going to have 15 drivers for your B main. And starting on the pole, we have Greg Robinson in the 83. On his outside is going to be the 116 of Ty Williams. Inside row number 2, we have Dylan McKee in the 12. On his outside is going to be the 69 of John. Inside row number 3 is Jeremy Christensen in the 16. And on his outside is going to be Dylan Brannon in the 4. Inside row number 4, we have Kevin Goodall in the 30. On his outside is going to be Corey Denson in the 26. Inside row number 5 is John Jr. in the 34. On his outside is going to be Joseph Joe in the 412. Inside row number 6 is the 67 of Ty Dickinson. And on his outside is going to be the number 2 of Brian Kling. Row 7 has William Clapp on the inside in that number 8 machine. And on his outside is going to be the number 90 of Trevor Royer. And rounding out the field for your B main tonight is going to be Bowen Smith in the 012. And your top 6 drivers will be making it on to your main event tonight. And I'm not for sure how I can actually go in on the YouTube side and ban those guys. Sorry about that. I will work on that after the broadcast, guys. And we're going to go green flag racing as the pace truck pulls off. Greg Robinson in the 83 machine. He's going to hit the loud pedal and lead us to the green down the front straightaway as the top 6 drivers will be making it on to your main event as the 16 of Ty Williams is going to get that outside groove going in 1 and 2. He's going to get a good run down the back straightaway as he's just a little bit higher than now. He's looking down low. We're going to have a battle for your lead. They made a little bit of contact. Is that going to slow up the 16 machine? We're going to have to see if he has any damage. As a 69 of John, he's up there too. We have Ty Williams bouncing off the wall just a little bit there. And Dylan Brannon has fallen back to the 6th position as he hit the outside wall just a little bit. And Corey Denson in that 26 machine, he's looking in that mid to high lane. And we're going to kind of keep an eye on the number 4 here of Dylan Brandon as he's on the final transfer spot. The number 2 of Brian Kling. He's slowly rolling him in, sitting in 7th as Brian Kling looks down low in turns 1 and 2. And we go follow Brian here as he's right on the outside bubble. And we're halfway through with your B main. As we have a battle here, trying to brew up here between the 4 and the 2 for your bubble. And we have some side-by-side racing for your lead as a 116 of Ty Williams throws a slide job. Here comes the crossover move from 83 of Greg Robinson. As the 83 is trying to protect himself there, and we're coming out turn number 4. We're going to have side-by-side. It's going to be your new leader there at the line of Ty Williams as we have 2 laps remaining as the 16 is going to cross up there and take over your high line. And down the back straightaway, the 83 of Greg Robinson is sitting there in 3rd, followed by John in that 69 machine as the 16 of Ty Williams comes out of 4. We're getting the white flag. And Dylan McKee is in 4th, Corey Denson in 5th as Dylan Brandon is looking out there on the outside as we're coming out to turn number 4 for checker flag. It's going to be Ty Williams, Greg Robinson, Dylan McKee, Corey Denson, Dylan Brandon, and Kevin Goodall. As we had some contact there with John. Let's go back and take a look at that contact. John on that 69 machine hits the outside wall in turns 3 and 4 and ended up not making the show. As these drivers take on a few laps of warm-up here to kind of break the track in even more. And the drivers are taking on the Night Owl Racing League warm-up session, as all of the Regal Promotions esports warm-up sessions are sponsored by the Night Owl Racing League. And we'd like to thank everyone for joining in here and watching the Corn Belt Clash presented by Royalty Racing Network. And sorry for not announcing that at the top of the broadcast. And Dirt Series Promotions, they're the pit road sponsor. Dirt Slingers Racing League is a league sponsor for right rear. All the R's are confusing me here for Regal Promotions Esports. And for this being round number 8 of the 360s events, the winner of your points at the end of the season will be getting a trophy from Sick Trophies, as they're the official trophy and sponsor of the 2025 Regal Promotions Esports Awards Show. And the next Regal Promotions Esports event is going to be on Wednesday, April 30th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's going to be for the Badger State Showdown with a minimum of 60 to win and $12 for 5th. And that's going to be at the Crandon International Raceway. The full length track, 12 laps, fixed setup, and Pro 4 trucks, a $12 entry, and it's going to be live on Pit Stop TV. It looks like we're ready to go racing here, or at least lining up for your main event. And your starting lineup's going to have Caden Berry and that 112 machine starting on the pole. On his outside is going to be the 17 of Spencer Putney. Inside row number 2 is the 71 of Miles Jansen Jr. On his outside is going to be Fred Hoffman in the 13 machine. Inside row number 3 is going to have Alec in the 23. And on his outside is going to be Mason Hannigan in the 22. Inside row number 4 is Scott Thomason in the 6 machine. And on his outside is going to be Dustin Sargent in the 77. Row 5 on the inside is going to be the number 47 of Matt Hinkle. And on his outside is going to be Michael in the 07. Inside row number 6 has Jason Haynes in the 66. And on his outside is going to be Derek Patetti in the 41. In row 7 on the inside is going to have Jimbo Rooney in the 27. On his side is going to be Nick Larry in the 43. Inside row number 8 has Logan Tremor in the 148. On his outside is going to be Steven Stewart in the 29. Inside row number 9 has the 116 of Ty Williams. And on his outside is going to be Greg Robinson in the 83. Inside row number 10 has the 12 of Dylan McKee. And on his outside is going to be the number 26 of Corey Denson. And your last and final row is going to be Dylan Brandon in the 4 machine. And on his outside is going to be Kevin Goodall. As we take a look above, as these drivers are going to do a 4 wide salute here at Knoxville. As we have 30 laps tonight, you see the 4 wide salute. That 4 wide salute is presented by Victory Fuel. And for the 4 wide salute that you're seeing there, it's presented by Victory Fuel. If you are going to go make an order on Victory Fuel, use code RPE Sports Victory to save 10% at checkout. And thank you for liking the stream. We're getting the rolled up green flag. We're going to go green flag racing next time around. As you see, that pace truck lights are off as well. Caden Berry in that 12 machine is going to be leading the field of 22 drivers. As we're going down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3. Waiting for that third party gaming green flag. And Caden is hitting that loud pedal. We are at the third party gaming green flag as we're green flag racing now for your main event. The 12 of Caden Berry is going to lead us into turn number 1. Miles Jensen is going to follow suit in second as he's going to be running a little bit higher than what Caden Berry is. And your timer is going to be off as we have a wreck on the front stretch. And I don't know where Logan Tremor is, as he is not in the front. We're going to go back and take a look at Nick Larry. He is the outside wall. That wreck was right there in front of him. That's going to be the 07 of Michael. And Michael jumped into the pits. And we'll go back live here. And that's going to bring out the first caution tonight. And Caden Berry is still going to be on the pole. We should have an original restart, as I don't think we got a lap under green flag conditions. I think Derek might be in your Dirt Series pit zone, and no, he is not. He's just hanging out there on the top of the leaderboard. That leaderboard is not correct under yellow flag conditions. As they stack them back up, the pace truck lights are off. We should be going green flag racing next time around, I believe. I could be wrong. And I believe we are going to go green flag racing next time around as Caden Berry leads us into turn number 3. He's up there on that top cushion area, F3. And the pace truck pulled off, and here comes Caden Berry going to the third party green flag once again. Third party gaming green flag once again. And we're going to have a side-by-side battle for second between the 71 and the 22 as the 22 is getting that low side going. And the 71's up high. The 12 machine's holding off the 22 and the 71. The 22 is going to be looking down low and take over your second position as they come off turn number 2. The 71 has a good run there, and we're under yellow flag conditions once again. And go look at Corey Denson and the 26 machine. Kind of slowed up right in front of him, and they wrecked, and he got tangled up there, and that's going to bring out your second caution of the night. As Caden's getting that high side going, we also have Mason getting that low side going. And Miles Jensen Jr., he's up there as well on that top side. Man, that was a flip and a half on the front straightaway. And that's the second caution of the night. And once we're done racing here, you're going to hear from your top 3 drivers. So please stand by and hear the interviews with your drivers if they're in the interview for the top 3. And we're rolled up green flag. We're going to go green flag racing next time around. As Caden leads us down the back straightaway, he's wanting that third-party gaming green flag once again. And he's doing a slow pace entering 3. He's hitting that lob pedal. He's leading us down the front straightaway. The 71 of Miles Jensen Jr. got a good jump there too this time around, as the 22 didn't get as good of a restart. And in 4th is Spencer Putney in that 17 machine. Here comes Mason Hannigan in that 22. He's looking down low. Coming off turn number 4. We're going to have a battle on your screen for second between the 22 and the 71. The 22 is going to look to slide up in turn 1. And here comes the 17 as well. He's going to make it interesting here, as the 22 looks down low in turns 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to be securing your second position as he's coming out turn number 4. The 71 is getting the outside going, or trying to, and bouncing off the wall just a little bit. And Caden Berry running that middle to top line in 1 and 2. And he's running that bottom line in 3 and 4. And here comes the 17 of Spencer Putney. He's trying to get into your podium position early on here in the race, as we are only 7 laps down. As they're going to be side by side coming off turn 2 for battle for third between the 17 and the 71. As the 17 looks down low in turns 3 and 4 here. And coming off turn 4, it's going to be the 17 of Spencer Putney taking over your third position. The 22 of Mason Hannigan, he's going to be on the outside there in second, as he's bounces off the wall just a little bit in 1 and 2. He comes back down low in 3 and 4. And we're going to have another caution come out. That's going to be your third caution of the night, as we are only 9 laps in to your main event. And it looks like we're going to go follow Jimbo Rooney here. As you see, Jimbo Rooney got into the outside wall, broke his right front wheel, couldn't steer there, and couldn't steer there as he went into turn 1. As you see there, he's back into the pits. And we'll give a rundown of the field again. It's going to be Caden Berry still leading the field. Mason Hannigan in that 22 machines is going to be in second. The 17 of Spencer Putney in third. The 71 of Miles Jansen Jr. in fourth. Alec in the 23, he's going to be rounding out your top 5. Dustin Sargent in the 77 is going to be in 6th. The 13 of Fred Hoffman, followed by Scott Thomason in the 6th machine, and Kevin Goodall in the 30. As that should be rounding out your top 10. And if you haven't done so yet, go to regalpromotions.com/shop and get your t-shirt, hoodie, or even a poster today. As we're getting the rolled up green flag, we're going to go green flag racing next time around. As the 12 of Caden Berry is going to be leading the field. As we're going to stack them up. As Caden Berry leads us into turn number 3. He's waiting to hit that loud pedal here. Pace truck pulls off, and we're back under green flag racing as Caden Berry hits that loud pedal, and he's going to get a good jump here as the 22 looks down low in turn 1 and 2. As Caden Berry slides up and hits that outside cushion, he's going to get a good run here. Coming off turn 2, we're going to be side by side going into turn number 3 as the 22 looks down low, and the 12 is still up high. As we're coming out turn number 4, it's going to be the 22 of Mason Hannigan taking over the lead as Caden Berry in that 12 machine falls back to second, but he's still within striking distance on that 22 as we go down the back straightaway. As they're both 22 and 12 are running the same line on both sides of the track. And as soon as I say that, the 12 machine of Caden Berry throws a slider line. They're in 1 and 2. As we're not even halfway through yet. Here comes Caden Berry slowly rolling them in. And that slider line seems to be working in 1 and 2. And we're going to go back here to Spencer Putney in that 17 machine as he's running the top in 3 and 4, bottom 1 and 2, and Alec in that 23 machine is trying to get the outside going. They're side by side in 3 and 4 whenever I've seen it, so that's why we came back here. We're going to go back to the front of the field as we're halfway through with your main event. And here comes the 12 as he's getting that slider line going in 1 and 2 once again. He's getting that outside run. And here he comes down low in turns 3 and 4. He's going to be right on the bumper of the 22. Might have a little bit of contact as the 12 of Caden Berry hits that inside berm just a little bit in 3 and 4. And he's getting that good run off of 2 there. And Caden Berry's going to change up his line. He's going to go to the top side here and try to go side by side coming off turn 4. And it's still going to be the 22 of Mason Hannigan. This is your battle for the lead on the screen between the 22 and the 12 as they come off turn 2. That are going to be side by side. Caden Berry hits the outside wall. He's going to be leading this just a little bit going into turn number 3. And he's up there on the top side of 3 and 4. As they come off 4, it's going to be the 22 of Mason Hannigan. And as Mason kind of throws the slider and goes into that middle lane. Here comes the 12 on the outside as the 12 gets a good run off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Enter turn number 3. And Mason Hannigan is going to get that low side going again. And here comes Caden Berry. And we're going to have a new leader again off turn 4 of Caden Berry. As we near the closing laps here, we have Caden Berry and Mason Hannigan battling out for your lead. As I don't want to leave this race in action here, as it was heating up, and we are now 10 laps remaining in your main event here. Your top 3 drivers right now is going to be Caden Berry, Mason Hannigan, and Spencer Putney for your top 3. As you see, Spencer Putney is kind of out there by himself. And as soon as I go away, these two are slicing and dicing. We have still a battle here for the lead between the 22 and the 12. As the 12 looks down low and it's turn 3 and 4. And the Mason Hannigan's going to get that top side going and take away the lead there. And here comes Caden Berry trying to throw a slide job, and he didn't clear it, so he pitched the car off as the 22 squeezed through there and maintains the lead coming off turn number 2. As he goes into turn number 3 now, he's getting that top side going. Here comes Berry following suit. And both these drivers are on the top side now, and Berry's being very smooth and reels them in just a little bit as Hannigan bobbled there just a little bit. And here comes Berry throwing a slide job and a crossover from Hannigan as we are now 6 laps remaining into your main event. These two are slicing and dicing as we have a slide job from the 22, a crossover from the 12, and I'm sure we're going to see another slide job here from the 12 and going into turn number 3. And sure enough, we have a slide job and a crossover. As they're coming off turn number 4 with 5 laps remaining, the 22 of Mason Hannigan is going to maintain your lead. And I believe we might have lap traffic playing a factor on your final laps here. That's Mason Hannigan looks down low. Caden Berry's going up top in 3 and 4. And Caden Berry hits that outside wall just a little bit. Hopefully he didn't mess him up. And he reels back in Mason Hannigan. And we're going to have a caution as there's a car high in turn 4. And I believe that's going to be Logan Trimmer. And no, that was not Logan Trimmer. I believe it was Ty Williams, maybe. But you see, or that's back in. I was on the wrong part of my tracker here. Nick Larry was who we're going to go watch here. As you see, his left front's broke and he can't turn it. And that's what brought out your caution here. As another driver hit him there. And with that yellow, we're going to be bunched up once again. The 22 and the 12 have been putting on one hell of a show so far tonight for you. And hopefully for these last 3 laps, we see it even more. And I will say that both these drivers are giving respect to each other and giving lanes, and would rather pinch their car off and take themselves out before taking someone else out, is what I've noticed so far between your 22 and the 12. We have the rolled up green flag. We're going to go green flag racing next time around. as Mason Hannigan in that 22 machine. He's going to be leading us out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. As he gets into that start zone. And we're in the start zone. The 22 is going to hit that loud pedal. He's going to try to get a good jump here. Here comes Caden Berry. And Spencer Putney. As Putney's going to try to get that outside going. Here comes Caden Berry. As I believe I might have said his name wrong there. Sorry about that. As Caden hits that outside wall going down the back straightaway. And Mason Hannigan is going to be leading the field here. As he's getting the popsicle sticks. As we have 2 laps remaining. And Caden Berry's trying to get that outside going. He's going to bobble up just a little bit and bounce off the outside wall. Here comes Spencer Putney in that 17 machine. He's going to try a slide job here. And Mason Hannigan's getting the white flag as we have 1 lap remaining. It looks like we have mayhem there in turn 1 and 2. As it's the last lap, you cannot throw a caution out. And that's going to be Mason Hannigan coming off turn 4. And taking the win. And I believe that's going to be Caden Berry finishing 2nd and Miles Jansen Jr. finishing 3rd. Again, these results are your unofficial results. We're going to hear from your top 3 drivers. That's going to be Mason Hannigan, Caden Berry, and Miles Jansen Jr. And I'm waiting for your results to finish up. And for your unofficial results tonight, it's going to be Mason Hannigan taking the win, Caden Berry 2nd, Miles Jansen Jr. in 3rd, Ty Williams 4th, Derek Patetti in 5th, Kevin Goodall 6th, Dustin Sargent 7th, Steven Stewart in 8th, Dylan Brandon finishes 9th, and Logan Trimmer rounds out your top 10, Fred Hoffman in 11th, Matt Hinkle 12th, Jason Haynes in 13th, Spencer Putney 14th, 15th is Dylan McKee, Greg Robinson 16th, Michael finishes 17th, and Alec in 18th. Again, all these results are unofficial, and if you are interested in your official results, please check out the Regal Promotions Esports Facebook page and their website for all official results. And we have Miles Jansen, your 3rd place finisher, waiting to be interviewed here. We're going to hear from your 3rd place finisher. And Miles, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Man, on that last lap, that I don't know exactly what happened there or how you escaped it. Kind of walk me through what happened on that last lap there.
Yeah, I was sitting in 6th, and I was kind of content with the result. I put up a good fight against some really good drivers, and then I saw that we were really a lot of the guys in front of me were really close together, and so I kind of didn't really bother to push to try to make a move or something because I just knew something was going to happen, and yeah, it played out in my favor. A bunch of lead lap car or leader or yeah cars in front of me decided to play bumper cars there, and I got to squeak on past and get a 3rd place finish.
Again, congratulations on your 3rd place finish here. And if I'm not mistaken, this is your first 360 race with Regal.
Yes, this has been my first night. I got the chance to win the 305 race and then come home with the podium in the 360. It's pretty cool to see my hard work starting to pay off.
Yep. And again, congratulations on that. And for tonight's track conditions, from the 305s to the 360s, was there anything different for the track conditions or where you wanted to run at?
Oh yeah, totally different. 305s you can pretty much hold wide open all the way around, and then you jump in a 360 and just the horsepower difference, and then the track wearing off a lot more and a lot faster. Definitely, throttle control is definitely a big thing, and it was a tricky switch to flop from the 305 to the 360, but it worked out.
Yes, sir. And do you have any sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to, man?
Yeah, just gotta thank OG Gear, and then I gotta thank all the guys at One Goons.
Again, congratulations on your third place finish tonight for the 360s and your win in the 305s earlier tonight. And hopefully we catch you here next time.
Oh yeah, I'll be here for Cedar Lake.
And we'll be here for the 360 broadcast as well. So hopefully we catch you again on the podium.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And there you have it, your third place finisher of Miles Jansen Jr. And we're going to hear from Caden Berry, your second place finisher tonight. And Caden, are you there?
Yep, gotcha.
Man, that was one heck of a show that you put on there with you and Mason. Uh, Seeing that maybe late in the race, you probably looked like you might have broke your right front. What kind of led on that last restart? What kind of happened there?
I got up way too high into the cushion and just started biking up. I seen Mason who was like a lane off of the top, and I knew it was pretty sketchy, and I knew I probably shouldn't have ran up that high, but with how good it felt, towards like almost the end of the race anyway, I kind of figured going back up there wouldn't have been too bad, but those last couple of laps I was running, it just, kind of just killed my right front into the wall there. But no, I'm just really happy, to still get second after what happened. I probably shouldn't have finished second with what happened. I mean, everyone got by me there with my broken right front, but just super thankful to, finish second, sorry. And no, it feels really good.
And kind of for walking us through the track conditions, watching everyone out there compared to where you're running at, you're running a different line than everyone. What was the track actually working better for you, throwing that slider line in one, and bottom in three and four?
Yeah, that line is usually what I'm really good at when it's like kind of, like a dry slick, some tacky, some slick there. And no, it was like really, really good. I was actually looking at my relative, I was starting to pull away from Mason by, like a tenth or so each lap. So I knew that was like really, really good. So I just kept continuing to run that. And then it just seemed like it went to like the bottom, both ways around the track. So I, started running that behind him. And, I caught it back up, and we were able to throw some sliders, back and forth with each other. 1 minute I would pull away from him, and then he would catch back up, and then he'd pull away from me, and I would catch back up. And we just had a really good race there at the end, and just wish I had more laps. I think I could have maybe figured something out there. If I got off the top, I should have just been off of there and maybe try to make the bottom work again, or a cut down or something different, because that top definitely wasn't it. But I was just trying the best I could, and just trying the best I could, with the, last two laps we had.
Yes, sir. And again, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. Do you have any sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to, man?
Yes, I do. First off, I gotta give all glory to God. Gotta thank my mom and dad, my nan and Grampy, CC, Grammy, Tim and Kevin. Gotta thank my sponsors, Granite State Blacktoppers, New Life Restorations, Turn One Graphics, Drew's Powder Coating, Bear Blasting, Ryder Family Sawmill, and gotta thank you guys for putting it on.
Yes, sir. And hopefully next week at Cedar Lake we catch you again here on the podium.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sir, and have a good night. And there you have it, your second place finisher of Caden Berry. And we're going to hear from your winner, Mason Hannigan. And Mason, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you and Caden put on one hell of a show there. Um, Seemed like you found something down there on the bottom early on and was reeling them in. Were you thinking about going to the top side and kind of blocking a little bit with slider line or anything, or kind of walk me through what your game plan was?
No, I mean, I knew the bottom was going to be fast. I didn't think it'd blow off as quick as it did. I think when I got to the lead, I figured I was going to be all right, really. And then he tracked me back down, and I was just kind of surprised by it. And I kind of seen where he was at. So once he cleared me, I knew I had to move. So I just kind of got to the top and got it rolling. And knew I had to get moving sooner than later. So yeah, no, we were pretty good there. We just I kind of put myself behind the 8 ball, I guess, starting six. But I mean, we got moving early there. So yeah, once he passed me, I moved up, and I just kind of moved up a lane higher than he did, and I was just a little bit better. But then when I got around him, he turned the wake up again, and then I'm like, God damn, I can't keep this guy off me. So, and then that's when we got racing for 8 or so laps there, and then down there in 3 and 4, I do it most of the time. It just depends on where we're at, but yeah, he was sliding me, and I just knew. I mean, he's going to slide all the way to curb, so why do I need to slide myself? So I just kind of turned down, ran the bottom, and I came off really good and gripped up really good, and just kind of drove away. So and then I knew I needed to be down in the bottom of 3 and 4, and not really protect, but I guess kind of protect the slider down there if he gets a runoff too. So it'd make your life a little harder. So other than that, though, good race to Caden and good race to Miles there.
And with that racing side by side with the sliders back and forth with you and Caden, then that late caution comes out with 3 laps remaining. Did that play a factor in your game plan there?
No, not really. I just knew I needed to fire off well, and I really didn't even do that well. But I just knew I needed to get down the straightaway, get down into 1, and kind of get back into 3. And I wasn't really worried about it too much. So yeah, my car was pretty good there. It just probably a little bit on the free side, but for this place, it's probably all right to run the curb. So, but yeah, the track was pretty good there, and yeah, happy to pick up the win.
And do you have any sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to, man?
Yeah, all the boys at Black Diamond Motorsports, Velocity Race Designs, Tim Sims. I can't thank Andrew for putting this deal on, and yeah, we got one more week next week in the spring, so I can't wait to finish it out.
And hopefully we catch you back here on the podium for the Cedar Lake race next week.
Hopefully, thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you, and have a good night, and congratulations on your win.
You too.
And there you have it, your top 3 finishes tonight in tonight's main event. And that's going to conclude your racing here on Right Rear Racing. For your next event with Regal Promotions Esports is going to happen on Wednesday, April 30th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's going to be for your Badger State Showdown with a minimum of $60 to win, with $12 for 5th at Crandon International Speed Raceway. That's going to be the full length track, 12 laps with a fixed setup, Pro 4 trucks, and a $12 entry fee. You can catch that action live on Pit Stop TV. And then on Sunday, May 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be round 4 of the 2025 Regal Promotions Esports Extreme 358 Modified Tour. And it has a $100 top 5 point fund. And that race is going to be at Eldora, 40 laps, fixed setup with a $10 membership fee. Then next week on Monday, May 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be round number 10 of the 2025 Regal Promotions Esports 305 Sprint Car Series. And that's going to be for the Wisconsin Cheese Fest presented by Admin Bucks at Cedar Lake Speedway. It's going to be a 25 laps fixed race with free entry. There's an iRating cap of 3,500, and you can catch that action live on Regal Promotions Esports YouTube. And then following immediately after that, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Right Rear Racing, you can catch the 360 race. And that's going to be the Wisconsin Cheese Fest presented by Admin Bucks at Cedar Lake. It's going to be a 30-lap race, open setup, free entry with a 2K iRating plus. And again, you can catch that action here on Right Rear Racing. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will catch you next time here on Right Rear Racing.